Okay, hi everyone. So this video is going to be a little bit of a downsizing video. I'm mostly just going to be discussing more or less how I'm going to be collecting moving forward because I feel like I've changed my mind on a few things. I don't think I'll be adding much, if anything at all, but first I just want to talk about how I'll be downsizing my album so you can see that I have a lot here. So I kind of decided that I will not be collecting full versions, like all versions of an album, especially if the group isn't like a priority in collecting. So if they're not like higher up on my bias list, I guess. So you can see that I have some New East albums here. For New East specifically, I told myself that I could, if there's 4 versions or more, that I could get or keep 2 versions of the album. And then if there's like 3 or less, that I could keep 1 version of the album. So I just kept my favorite photo books. So for the table, I'm letting go of version 2 and 1 and 2. And I'll move this here because I have some more underneath this. So I have 2 of the Nocturne that I'm letting go of. And then I have 2 of Happily Ever After that I'm planning to let go of. Yeah, moving forward, like especially since I haven't gotten their most recent album, I will most likely get 1 or 2 versions of that and then move on, but those will be something I get like at a later time when I have the extra money for it. And then for Jisung, I'm letting go of like his albums. This was from before he enlisted. I just don't feel like I like these albums enough musically to keep them, so I'm letting go of them. That's another thing, like if I don't love an album musically, I don't have to keep it. And it's not like I think that Jisung, like I don't think his music is bad, it's just not something I connect with anymore, at least. I did keep his newest album, Temperature of Love, though. So yeah, I'm changing my collecting a lot, especially when it comes to like 101 solos and stuff like that. So that's one I'm changing. And then you can see I have some Jihoon albums. So again, I'm just planning on keeping 1 version of his album moving forward. And so I have 2 of his Message albums that I'm letting go of, and then 1 of his The W albums that I'm letting go of and not keeping. Yeah, you can see I have a lot of, I just hit the camera, sorry. I have a lot of like NCT albums. These are just extras. I have this like stack of albums on my desk from like yesterday when I was trying to like list some of these things for sale, but I'm not like changing the way I collect NCT. And then you can see I have some Jaehwan albums. I'm not going to buy his albums unless I really like them anymore. I'm not even going to buy 1 version of them. Like I'm keeping his first album because I love that album so much, but these other 2 I don't vibe with very much, so I'm letting them go. And again, in the future, like with his comebacks and stuff, I'm not buying anything unless I really connect with it, which I think is valid. And then I guess some more New East albums. I'm letting go of New East W almost entirely because I didn't like, well, okay, so I loved this album a lot, but I only really need 1 version of it. And then for W here, I'm letting go of my signed version because I have another album signed by Baekho, so I don't need 2, so I can let go of this one and then keep the other version. And then this album I never really connected with at all, so I'm letting it go. There's a reason I only have 1 version of it, and it's because I never really vibed with it, so I never bought the other 2, I think there is. So yeah, I'm letting go of New East W, which is fine. And then again with CIX, I don't know if I'm going to keep collecting their albums. Like I don't know if I'm going to buy their new one. I do want to collect a few cards for Jinyoung for that album, but I don't know if I'm like going to collect for sure like the album. It just totally depends on how I feel. So as of right now, I'm just keeping 1 version of every single one of their albums so far, because there is an aspect of each album that I really like enough to keep at least 1. But I don't know if I connected with their full album enough to really buy it. So moving forward, I'm going to buy 1 version at most if I connect with the album. Photo cards, on the other hand, is a different thing. We'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm downsizing my albums. I'm definitely not buying albums as much as I used to. I'm really just buying like my alt groups, and I'll buy like a bunch of copies of their albums for like photo cards and things, but otherwise I'm not really buying any non-alt albums, especially recently. So yeah, and I'm also thinking about downsizing albums a little bit more. Like I don't know if I'm going to keep collecting all versions of AB6. Like I might let go of a few of their albums that I have. Realistically, I don't need every single version of every one of their albums. Like I don't know if I'm going to keep all the albums that I have of theirs. I don't necessarily strictly collect their albums. I've just gotten albums like with sets and things that I've bought on Mercari Japan, so that's not really something I'm worrying about, but I've always talked a lot about how I enjoy album collecting, and I do, but the thing I enjoy most about album collecting specifically is like the music. I don't look at photo books very often, to be honest. Like album photo books, especially with that in mind. I don't necessarily have to have every version of every album for like non-alt groups, you know. So yeah, that is one big change that is happening. I've taken a lot of stuff off my shelves, and basically I just took the things off my shelves to see how I felt about it, because, you know, if I take something off my shelf, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind a little bit for me. So if I take it off, and like I felt okay with taking those things off the shelf. So that is that. So I'm gonna pull out my binders now, and I think I want to, like, I do this every so often, and I just think I want to go through each of them quickly and talk about each of my collections, where I stand with them, and what'll be happening with them in the future. So let me just do that really quick. I just want to mention that this is the first video I'm filming with my new phone. I got a new phone not too long ago. I don't know if you'll be able to tell a difference in quality, especially because the lighting isn't great today, but hopefully you do see a difference. But anyways, so I want to start off with this binder. This is kind of like my miscellaneous binder, my inactive collections binder. Just talk about this a little. So we have CLC here. If and only if they come back, which I don't know the probability of that, like, I'll continue to collect them. I don't really consider CLC an alt group anymore. I love them a lot, and I think they'll always hold a really special place in my heart. But especially with, I don't know, my feelings have just changed in the past year or so. So don't get me wrong, I still do love them a lot, and I will always like enjoy their music and stuff like that, but just don't see them as much of an alt anymore. But I'm just gonna skip past it. Like, if they do have a comeback, I'll definitely collect, but like I said, I don't know the probability of that. And Daya, again, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I don't really see Daya as an alt group either. But same situation with CLC, they'll always hold like a really special place in my heart, and that's like all I really have to say. I don't really see Daya having a comeback before their contracts expire, like in September of next year, but like, who knows? I could be wrong. They were supposed to have a comeback this year several times, but haven't, so we'll see. And we have Impact. There's nothing really to say here, so we can move on. Eyes One, obviously nothing happening here. I don't plan to collect any post Eyes One things. I'll support the girls individually in what they do, but just not, you know, collecting them in any way. And even if Chaeyeon re-debuts, I don't plan to collect her. I just don't want to spread myself too thin, so, you know. Because I feel like right now, especially, I am collecting so much. Even though I feel like I've downsized the amount of groups I collect, I feel like the amount I collect has heightened, I guess. I don't know. We can skip IY, JBJ, because there's just nothing happening here. I still do need to finish this collection, though. CIX, I'm gonna selectively collect Jinyoung. I probably said this in the past, but especially for their past album, I do want to get 3 cards from each version, because they're just super cute cards. So if I can get them, I will. And then this is kind of where my other 101 solo stuff comes in. So I do have these Jaehwan cards. I only have them in here because I don't think anybody wants them. I've tried to like sell them, trade them in the past, but nobody has ever taken the offer, so they're just in here, especially because I'm keeping the album. So if I were to ever sell it in the future, I'd probably sell it with the cards, but I don't plan to sell it. And I don't know what this page is for, but it's there. And Jisung, so I was gonna collect Jisung a little bit. My plans used to be that I wanted to have like a tiny little collection for each 101 member and their solo, but that's just too much for me now. I cannot rationalize doing that. And also considering like these cards are never something I think about when I'm off like buying stuff, which is fine. Like, I don't have to force myself to collect something just because I may love whoever it is. Like, as much as I love Jisung, I just don't, you know, find it necessary to collect cards, especially since I'm getting rid of like his albums now. I don't feel inclined to collect things, you know, but I will keep what I have, of course. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else in this binder I really need to discuss. But yeah, that's basically it for this binder. I feel like there's a possibility some more stuff could be added in here, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, next, I just grabbed a random binder. So this is my attention binder. I will say there's not really much to update on here. I'm not changing the way I collect at all. I just need to focus on finishing Connection. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm not really worrying about collecting anything prior to that because, you know, it's just not a priority right now. I don't think Obtention cards will ever really be hard to find. So like I said, I just need to work on connection. I have a good start, I think. And I have kind of been focusing on getting some of Xiao's, like, what are they called? Like fan sign cards, because I actually made a little template from all the previews of cards from like different fan signs and stuff they've done. They did like so many different fan signs with Jump Up specifically. They did like group and one-on-one fan signs like every weekend with Jump Up for like maybe 2 or 3 months. Or I think it was probably 2 months because they went through the end of August. So that's like a lot of cards, and I'm not really aiming to get all of them because that's a lot. I'll show you the template here because it's like a lot, and those are like just Jump Up cards. I don't know if I have everything on there, but I like know there's a few more I don't have on there, but like it's a lot. So I'm just getting a few things. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Obtention really. All right, so this is my boy groups binder. For AB6, I plan to collect Davy as normal. It's just like extremely low priority these days. I was thinking about giving up collecting Davy, mostly because I felt like I was super behind and I couldn't really find any trades for his cards. I think it was maybe last month when Yokio had this no service fee thing for like a day or two maybe. And so I bought some of Davy's cards then because I'm generally not willing to spend a lot on his cards, so especially with the fee being not a factor, I guess, it made it easier for me to justify buying the cards. So I am closer to being caught up, just not quite. So I'm less worried about it now, I'll be honest. I just probably am missing a few cards for Salute and Have a Dream. I haven't set up for their new album yet. I'm not worried about it at all. I haven't even listened to the full album yet, which kind of sucks. But I have to like muster a whole bunch of motivation to listen to any new release, so it's not just AB6. I will keep collecting Davy as long as I don't like decide to downsize a lot more. So moving on. One Wii, I don't plan to do anything to this either, just because collecting them has been pretty easy so far. And Wii so yeah, collecting them hasn't been too big of an issue either so far, but I will say they're probably another group I'm not going to take too seriously. Like, I will collect Donghan fully, but like same thing with Davy, I'm not going to worry about like getting all of his cards right away, because I think that's one thing that stresses me out a lot, especially recently, because I can't spend money everywhere at once, especially now. Like, I'm in between jobs, so I need to focus my efforts in certain places, and it's stressful, especially when you've got a whole bunch of things coming out at once. So as long as I'm not stressed about collecting this, I should be okay. And then with Daniel, I'll probably still, like, I still have my plans to complete these pages. It's been low priority. I haven't made much progress on it at all lately, but it's fine. Like, I'm really not worried about it. This is definitely my lower priority boy groups. So these boy groups especially, I will probably not get around to like getting everything right away, which I need to come to terms with, because that's one thing that stresses me out about my collection a lot, is not being able to finish things quickly. If I let things sit for too long, I feel like I'll lose the motivation and that I don't want to collect anymore. And that is the case sometimes, which is fine, totally valid, but I don't necessarily want to give everything up, you know? But I guess if I were to let any more boy group collections go, it'd probably be something in this binder, I'll be honest. But that's all I have to say here. Okay, so girl groups. Choan, specifically, this is my newest collection, probably out of all of my collections, and they are having a comeback soon. I will say I'm not worried about collecting that right now. I don't know if I'm gonna go all out like I did with their first, like their debut. I do plan to collect it. I thought I could get like the album cards and then maybe just a few pre-order benefits. I definitely don't need 9 of them this time, but I guess it just depends. I probably won't get around to collecting this until, I don't know, whenever I get the chance, which is not anytime soon. So, and we have Blackpink, which I don't worry about this collection too much. I do have plans to collect like a little bit more for Lisa's solo, although I don't know if that'll actually happen. I put a wish list up on my Instagram. I haven't really looked for any cards or anything yet, though. Like I just said, not a priority, so we'll see how that goes. This page might just stay the same, so I don't know. And Brave Girls, this is like the most fun collection for me. I just find it really fun, so this obviously isn't going anywhere, especially because Brave Girls are Ults. And, you know, I would give them their own binder, but as of right now, they don't really have much in terms of like album cards and things, so I don't really feel like they need their own binder. So, I mean, maybe I will at some point, but we'll see. I don't know. Then we have Itsy, so I'm collecting Itsy just fine. I don't have any of Chaeyoung's Crazy in Love cards in my binder yet. I do have a few, I just don't have them, like I said, in my binder yet, because I don't have all my albums yet. K-Town For You, it's been like over 2 weeks since the release of this album, but K-Town For You will not ship my albums, and I'm thinking about just canceling my order and reordering somewhere else because I still do want the albums, but the wait has just been so annoying, and I don't really understand what's taking them so long. Like, it's really frustrating, and I just want to finish this collection and move on because, like, it just shouldn't take this long. It's just been, like, really annoying, but I've kept up to date with no bad days so far, but yeah, Itzy's really the only other collection in here. But I've been really frustrated about Crazy in Love just taking forever. Like, I wish I just wouldn't have ordered from K-Town For You and just bought all my albums at Target because, like, it's just ridiculous. I should be finished with this by now, but I'm not because I still have 2 albums that I need to get to me. You know, it's whatever. It's fine, I guess. All right, let's talk about NCT now. I've definitely upped my collection for NCT, I will say. I have decided to start collecting Mark fully. I don't know if any of you saw this coming. I definitely didn't, but I'll accept it. I haven't set up for his collection yet at all, so maybe I'll make a video about that and set up for some other things in the video as well. Collecting for sticker has been pretty interesting so far. If I factor in the things that I have on the way and the stuff that I haven't put away yet, I'm only missing 2 cards, both of Haechan's jewel case cards, so I'm hoping I can get those soon. But otherwise, it's been fun. They did announce their repackage, which is just great. I bought 4 albums. I bought them from Gmarket actually, and I'm hoping that those don't take forever to get to me. I wanted to avoid K-Town For You this time because it took them forever to ship my albums for sticker, and I want to stop ordering from K-Town For You because they are just probably the most frustrating place. And I've never had like issues with them before, but the fact that they're taking so long is, again, really frustrating. And I understand that they get a lot of orders, but I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So yeah, I ordered Favorite from Gmarket, and they do have the like discounted shipping at the moment, so that's why I went with them. Yeah, hopefully those don't take forever to get to me. I'll probably set up for Favorite once we get album details. I don't know if there's really much to talk about other than that, just because I'm caught up with every other collection. I will say though, in regards to my wavy collection, I did take Lucas out of my collection, and I think, like, I haven't sold his cards or traded any of his cards yet. I was just kind of holding out. I don't really know why, but I guess I had been considering stopping collecting him before everything with him happened, and I guess that just, everything happening just kind of gave me the push to stop collecting him. I don't know. Okay, so I'm definitely still collecting 10 and Yang, although I'm not entirely sure what to do with this page because I have Xiaojun as well, so I don't know if I want to trade Lucas for Yang or what, because these cards, this one specifically, I'm iffy about because they're like really expensive, and if I trade, I don't want to risk anything getting lost, so that's just what I'm worried about. Like, I don't know what to do here with this collection because I want Yang's cards from this album, so I don't know if I should just sell my Lucas collection and then trade Xiaojun for Yang. I don't know what to do. So I have to make some decisions, I guess, about my wavy collection. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. And I've heard talk about NCT 2021, so God, I can only imagine how stressful that'll be for me collecting wise. Those releases are fun, but also the stress of collecting so many members is just a lot. Okay, anyways, that was all I really needed to say about NCT. Just some decisions I need to make. I need to set up for some new things, but other than that, that's all. All right, and then the last binder I will go through, this is my Twice binder. So if you didn't watch my last storing video, you wouldn't have heard me say this, but I do consider Twice and Jihyo Ults again. So I'm picking up collecting for them quite a bit, Jihyo specifically. I think I'm mostly going to be focusing on Twice and NCT moving forward with my collection, especially while I don't have much money to spare for anything else. So I'm fine with that though. they are the most fun collections for me. But I think I will most likely be trying to like complete the album cards, like completely get caught up, finish my OT9 sets and stuff like that. It's like every era there's like 1 or 2 cards I need. I don't know if there's any like anything before maybe Fancy that I'm not still working on, and I am still working on Feel Special too. So I think, yeah, more and more Forward is all that I have complete, just because I really got back into collecting twice during More and More era, and then I went back and expanded my collection sometime after that, so that's just why I'm not super caught up yet. So I want to like get to it, you know, and I'd also like to trade like all the extra cards I have, but I can't really. So yeah, and I need to get caught up with like pre-order cards too, because I don't have all of Jiho's, which is weird, but it's again like not really wanting to spend much on them. I did give up on collecting unit cards for them because I just lost interest, so this is just cumulative page, I guess. I don't know. Taste of Love is complete. They did announce, actually not too long ago, the album details for their new album, so there's 4 versions. I didn't really take a good look at the cards yet, but it looked like there was maybe 6 cards per member for just normal photo cards. I don't know what other inclusions they have, but I also do plan on collecting a lot of non-album for Jiho. So I did already start my monograph collection. You can see I got a pretty good start on that. As of right now, I'm only missing the Year of Yes and Summer Nights. I'm definitely keeping my eye out for Summer Nights because they do get listed kind of often, but they're like $30 or something, and I don't want to spend that much on it. I'm willing to spend like a little bit more on it because it is harder to get, but like not that much, you know? And then I do plan to get like a start on her Japanese cards. I just, you know, need to find a better time to start that collection. And I will be collecting like trading cards for her fully. I'll probably like really just be trying to collect as much as I can for Jiho. So like I'm gonna be genuinely trying to like complete sets and stuff, and yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. I actually did start my like Japan event Polaroid collection. I bought a good amount of those in a set on Yokyo, so, but especially like you're definitely gonna see me collect a lot more stuff for Jiho just in general. We'll see how that goes. Just because Twice has a lot of stuff, and I do feel like you can get a lot of their stuff for good prices. So I am excited for their new album though. Their English single that they just put out, The Feels, is so good. I love it. It's raining super hard outside, so sorry if you can hear that. But anyways, that was all I really had to say. I probably will make another video like setting up for like everything that I plan to add to my collection. Although outside of Twice and NCT, I don't really think there's much, but I guess I'll just have to like see, because I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, that I think that's it for this video. I will say the only binder I didn't really go through is my JBJ binder. Well, I guess my Hot Shot binder. I don't know why I called it my JBJ binder. Those collections are staying the same. I think with that said, that was it for this video. I think I already said that, but I hope you enjoyed me rambling about my collection and where it's going in the future. I didn't really downsize much except for albums. No, I didn't really downsize at all except for albums, but I just like to do this every once in a while where I go through and discuss everything because it kind of sets my head straight a little bit, helps me quite a bit. So that was everything. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.